Hello and welcome back to another Pride Pod here on Loud and Proud Orlando, live on a Tuesday night. I am your host, John Rollins, here to talk about this winning team, this 8 consecutive wins in the row, record breaking NWSL team, Luis. I mean, what? We've done it again. We just can't stop winning. How are you, buddy?
Well, doing great. Apologize to all the viewers. I had some issues with my camera, so I'm trying to get it resolved for the next spot. But I'm here in audio shape, audio form. So, well, definitely exciting. A great, not only turnout. People definitely. There's a lot of buzz, well deserved buzz. For the team and just the way each individual player is just so gun ho and winning is amazing. A lot of high expectations against San Diego. We need to see Chef Seth Hines, like you said, John. Cook something up. Has to be a different recipe against San Diego because San Diego now know how we play in a little bit, right? So, and we'll discuss all of that and more. I'm just really excited on how the Pride are and their form. They're doing amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so refreshing to watch this team, man. Just keep winning. So we're gonna talk more about the Thorns win, which was the latest one, as well as preview the San Diego Way, which we're coming up on Friday night. So drop your comments. We want to hear from you. Um, Let us know your thoughts on this latest win. Luis, it was a 2-1 win against the Portland Thorns that got us our eighth consecutive NWSL win in a row for the record. We played a 4-2-3-1. Haley and Morgan were in the D mid this time. Marta was back in, and sadly, Summer Yates was out sick. Julie managed to get the start ahead of her. So I wanted to get your initial thoughts on that lineup, and what were your any surprises in there? I think Summer, we didn't know she was sick, so that surprised me. But outside of that, what I expect.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we nailed it. We nailed the starting lineup. I feel. I think we only had a few. I think only one miss. But I love the fact that we were able to see Morgan back, and again, Haley McCutcheon and Marta. Amazing job the whole entire game, and Barbara Banda being influential. So it was pretty amazing to see how dominant this team was. Honestly, it was against a top contender. It made quite a lot of strides. So um, Julie did great. She could have had a couple. I think seeing the tandem between Haley and Morgan was great, and Marta being in it was the level that she's playing. And she just with her plays, she kind of influences positively her surroundings and the other players. Like I saw Carrie Avello doing a nutmeg here and there, some jogo bonito going on there. Same with not only Julie Daw, but also Marta, and then also Carrie Abello. On that same left side, it pretty much drove Portland insane because it didn't give him time to really regain and compose themselves as in their back line. And it was just like, an amazing performance overall, John.
Yeah, I mean, I think the stats really give you an idea of how much we dominated in that first half. I would love to see like the momentum graph for this one, Luis. We get that on the city side. We don't have it on Football for NWSL, which is a shame, but maybe you can find one
Yeah,
because I
I'll go
think
ahead and find it right now.
the first half will just show all us. Like it was all us, and we had 22 shots overall against their 12 shots, 5 of which were on target versus their 4 on target, 4 big chances for us, and 3 big chances for the Portland Thorns. Just overall, we're dominating the stats. Possession, we weren't, but that's not really how we need to play with this team. Sometimes we're so direct, so we don't always need the ball. Barbara Banda getting the brace. There you go. We got the attacking momentum. I mean, that first half, just all us,
It was
all
all
us.
us
Yeah, and
completely.
then
Yeah.
obviously they came back in the second half, and then there was the end, like, you could see there the end of the game where it was like, "Oh, are they gonna get the equalizer?" But it didn't happen, but that first half was all us. Barbara Banda getting an 8.5 foot mob rating, 2 goals in 45 minutes, 4 shots, 100% shot accuracy for shots on target, apparently. So, she's a goal a game player, isn't she, man? I mean, that's what she's doing. That's what she's producing.
I
We'll go
mean,
into her goals in a minute, but just your initial thoughts on Banda's performance again.
Barbara and Marta playing in such high level. Um, Not only was so disruptive for Portland's backline, Hubley was forced to commit a lot of fouls. She got a yellow card. Marie Mueller had a tough time against Julie Doyle on the wing. Hina Sugita had to do a double role because, Julie was just all over. Emily also dropped to the offense also certain times. Adriana had a pretty much killer game also with Barbara, and Reina Reyes had a tough time as well right there for Portland. So Portland's backline, it is a 2-1 result. Definitely a very star-studded squad, but they couldn't contain the attacking third for Orlando Pride. I mean, it could have been a couple more goals coming, and that's on great on Portland, because within their you know little moments that they had in which they didn't know what to do, and Orlando was just pressing and attacking and being physically imposing with numbers. They still were able to not get their not get not defend well, especially at the end, right? So good on them, and I just think it was a really great job by the attacking third of the Orlando Pride. That was the most impressive part to me, at least, John.
I think also it's important not to forget how good this Portland Thorns team is that we did that to
Yeah.
in the first half. I mean, you've got obviously Becky was a real problem for Carrie Abello, I think, with Janine. Becky was causing her issues, which we don't see often with Carrie. I think she's done an incredible job this year. So that was an issue that we had to deal with, as well as you got Christine Sinclair and Moultrie and, like you said, Sigita and Sauber and Hogan, Mueller, Reyes, like Sam Coffey, I think, had a really good game
Some
for them.
coffee had a good
Sam
game.
Coffey
Yeah.
is class, man. So you've got to understand that this team is what we did in that first half against a team that I'd say is up there next to us as one of the best teams this year in the league, and it's it's scary how good we looked against them. I think in that first or other teams, the second half, different story. We couldn't quite get the second goal, etc. They were getting more confidence, getting it back into it, but we still held on for the 2-1 win. And that speaks to this defense and just how well they've been doing against top players, like to keep them out from getting the second goal. Anna Morehouse made some great saves. The whole back line is just every game just steps it up. I mean, they don't. I feel like there's a level of determination, especially with home games, that even in this one, I was like, they're getting closer, but I still, even with the Thorns, I was like, I don't think we're gonna let them get one, like another. I don't think we're gonna fall into that, and I think that speaks a lot to the mentality that like Seb and Haley and everybody has instilled within this team this year. That the level of determination to see out the win or see out the draw is evident to me, and this game showed it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely protagonists. They don't want to take a back seat. They have the mentality to keep going, to never give up. It now sounds a little bit cliche, but I mean,
Well, other teams in the league, Luis, would definitely have
yeah,
fallen to the Thorns there. Like they would have maybe conceded to the equalizer, maybe even, and we've seen the Thorns do that to other teams
yeah,
last minute,
yeah,
beat them in the last 10 minutes, and we didn't allow that. So that's the difference. That's why we're on top.
yeah, definitely. And I think it's going to be such another huge test for them coming up. It's facing each former team that we beat, and them having a winning formula on how to beat us. that they've practiced for weeks for that moment to face us. You know what I mean? And that shows that we are the protagonist in this league now. Again, for a small market like Orlando, I think it's such a amazing feat. Little by little, people are waking up. They're coming out of the matrix. They're seeing that this is soccer, and you got to support it no matter what. And we're seeing 9,000 people, 9,000 fans. Probably next week, hopefully in the next home game against Utah, we're going to see maybe 10K. And slowly but surely, this is going to keep growing. And it's all on the players, that's for sure, and the momentum. But they're brewing something really beautiful there at the Orlando Pride. Not only to take, I mean, you could lose one game here and there, two games. That's not gonna take away what they've accomplished so far. You know what I mean? I mean, it's something we've never seen, not even from Orlando City. So it's phenomenal. Now, let's watch the goals, right, John?
Yeah, I just want to quickly read a comment from Stream
Yep.
Jesus. Says, "Congrats to all the beautiful Pride women."
There you
So
go,
thank
Stream
you, Stream
Jesus.
Jesus, for that. I'm sure.
We have no comments here in on Instagram, but I do want to say hello to Michelle Borges that was watching. Alonzo with Air Sports Network, thank you so much. Kim Scott, the Lions Den was watching. Jorge Torres, which is Faku's dad. Thank you, sir, for watching. We also have Justin Nellis. So feel free to drop us a comment on Instagram as well. We'll read them also here. So thank you so much, guys, for your support.
Yeah, let's go through the goals.
Yeah. So here's how
He's
it
coming
starts.
in looking for Fleming. Cleared away.
So it starts with Kerry, right? This looks to me like a set piece goal. And this is the year that I feel the Pride has done the best, not only on set pieces, but on prepared plays. Plays that they've constructed on practice. And I think this is one of them, in my opinion. You have the center backs going as forwards in a way. I think last game we saw something similar with Emily Sams as well. So, if it's not Strom, it's Emily Sams. If not Emily Sams, it may be Rafa, right? But they all try to hit the tallest towers right there.
But this box midfield,
For starters, that's a phenomenal header, man.
What a header! I mean, it's funny to me, at least, because I felt a little bit for the Thorns in that one because they make the goal line save from Hafa's shot, like from 5 yards out, that comes off, like the defender throws herself down, the ball bounces back up in the air, and where does it bounce to? None other than Barbara Banda, who's just standing in the box waiting for her moment. And it's not an easy header. I mean, she does this massive pullback and does a huge header, and it loops over several defenders into the back of the net. And at that point, you're like, well, it's going to land to Barbara. She's going to do that. And it just is great to see. But I felt for Hafa as well because Hafa was so close there. She's been so close on set pieces so many times, Luis. Well, she's got to get one at some point.
It's she's gonna definitely get one. I think first is I have to give kudos to Morgan because she jumped higher than the defender, the Thorns defender, got the ball, and then Rafa just shot it. I don't think she looked. It was also probably good goalkeeping there too. And then off the rebound, it's just the vision that this striker has for the ball is just, it's like she's already looking at the ball as Rafa is shooting it, and she's going to the direction where the rebound's going to hit.
But also a little bit of luck there for us. So we like
to
see that.
This right here coming up was a turnover by Rafa right there.
And I like her confidence going forward, Luis. We just have to be careful about losing the ball that deep in our own half,
And then this is the second goal. I don't know if you do you want to see it right now?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so the second goal right here. If you're listening, so we're watching the play for the second goal for the Orlando Pride against the Thorns. So you have Marta, and then you got Adriana. Portland turns over, and then just division of Marta, just knowing, oh, she's gonna probably run past all these three defenders. So I'm just gonna throw her the ball.
First touch by
in the
Adriana, but
replay,
it's
you'll
right
hear
back
it.
at the feet of Marta.
And the pass from Marta too. I do want to say,
Oh, don't worry. We're gonna look at this pass from Martha. Luis
it-
there, it cut it off, but
they-
the female commentator says this is Banda's world, and we're just living in it.
yeah, that's
And I think
awesome.
that it just says it perfectly, right? That for me, when I was watching that, I tweeted that that's Banda's just out here playing FC24. Like the way she rounds the keeper. It's like I do at a video game. It was insane. She just looked up and she goes, "Okay, you're on the ground, so I'll just go around you." After all of that, but also the Marta pass is
Yeah.
just I watched it back like 5 times, man. It's a thing of beauty. The way she just pokes it out there with her inside of her foot. She's like a second. She looks up. She goes, "Oh, there's Banda. Poof, have that." And Barbara's off, and then the way that Banda just runs all the way over there, watches. It's like a comedy of error. The keeper can't help. Oh, you're gonna go that way, this way. Then she falls down, and she's got enough time to casually walk it around her and put it in the back of the net. Like I said, it's like she's playing a video game, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the pass was like 90% of that also. I mean, not to take it away from Banda,
Oh,
but
100. That
it was
pass
just
is
not the pass, was just,
insane. Like,
that's when you put like one of the best players in the sport, assisting, probably one of the top strikers now in any league. I think what Banda has created in Orlando, it's phenomenal. I think the city deserves it. But also I think that, other teams are like looking, saying, how come we didn't think of Banda coming to our team? I'm sure like Barcelona, even Chelsea, Man City, they're probably wondering like what am I doing with it? How come Orlando got her, So, I think she's gonna keep growing. It was a phenomenal goal, and after that, I expected for more goals to come through.
well,
She is again.
there
Go
was
ahead.
a few people, Louise, talking about the fact that we were saving the Marta Banda partnership. Like we hadn't really seen it a lot in the games previous to this, but some people were speculating. I want to say one of the Jens or Kim or somebody who's out there in the Pride world was talking about the fact that they thought that Seb was saving that combination of players for this game, and I think maybe they're right because in this
Probably
one
right.
we saw that connection that we had never really seen, and it is a scary thing when you put together the level of intelligent passing ability and dribbling ability and everything that Marta brings, and then you add all of the attacking threat that Banda is together. It's like just when they're both on form like this first half, it was just lethal, man. And I think at some point that quality is always going to come through from one of them where it's a moment of brilliance. And we saw two of them back to back right here for that second goal.
It definitely, tactically, he's analyzing the players he needs to use in each, when they face a certain rival, right? So, that's something that really gives me a little bit of, it keeps me at ease a little bit, with a tough schedule at the end. NWSL is one of the toughest leagues in women's sports because you get to face the same teams twice. So, um, teams prepare themselves, just like Orlando trains, Utah trains, and San Diego trains, and Portland trains. So, the cool thing about Sep is he's figuring out ways of outsmarting this well-seasoned coaches in the league, and by using his depth. So I think that's fantastic. We have a message here, a comment from Rachel. Thank you, Rachel, right there. Yeah, actually, I was at the press box.
It was
I was,
probably Rachel who called that
yeah,
one
I,
too.
I would say that I was at the press box, and then I'm checking our social media because I always post stuff about the team, and then I get a message from Rachel. It's like, hey, look on your left, and then she was on the other room right there. I think she was working for this for the club or for the street team. So thank you, Rachel. She spotted me. So yeah, that's funny. But yeah, she said
She also spotted that Sophia Smith was out before anybody else did.
that's right.
So good eyes there.
Rachel says, "Look, who could have called that secret weapon?" There you go. I think we know who it is now. So honestly, phenomenal game, and I guess we need to be humble. And I love the way that after the game, every single player, yes, they're excited, yes, they're happy. The group is super tight. I mean, I will say this is what I saw. I saw Luana and Summer at the game, and I think Summer was with Luana. That's why she took the day off. I think that's I'm assuming this because yeah so I think she got permission by Seb probably to have that day off, and I saw them both in the elevator going to the press conference. And I mean, that tells you, and it wasn't just them, it was also Celia, it was a lot of the players that, even Megan, I forgot I know Montefusco. I want to say Montefusco, but that's not her last name now. So you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So they were all there supporting the team, knowing that, just doing an act of presence. And I think that's amazing of the team, I mean, you can definitely have all the rights to take the day off, but you just want to support your friends, you want to support your teammates, whether you're there or not, you're there to support. So that's amazing. That tells you the level of commitment each player has, and the collective approach also that Seb, Haley, everybody that's in charge of that team is installing culturally into the team. So kudos to that, because I think that's great. Um, anyways, we'll
We'll
want to
talk
watch.
a little bit of the second half. Yeah, Louise. There's the sixth goalkeeper, and we were concerned about Anna and other things. And I think that was fair. She's had a little rough start at the beginning. And based on last year, where she had some, not so great games. But she's proven us all wrong, and she's stepping up her level just like the rest of the team is. And she's big reason that we got this win, and she's been the reason that we got several other wins recently as well. Like clean sheet wise, she's still at the top of the table. So I think it's really a time that we got to start changing our mentality about how we view Anna. And she's going to keep playing like this and making big saves. She got the bumps at the end of this one. Do you see that, Luis? They took her right there in front of the wall, in front of the Black Swans. Anna was being thrown up and down, celebrated. So clearly the team is all behind her as well. And I think it's great. I mean, I love it because she's English, Liz. Like my one English player. My one English player. And we don't, whenever we have to criticize, like it's not out of everyone she's playing, it's not out of hatred or anything. It's never personal. We just have to call it as we see it. And Anna was making some mistakes, and we gotta call her out for that. But now we gotta give her flowers because she's killing it in this game. Some big saves against top strikers in the league. She made some good ones against Becky and Moultrie, and it wasn't just this. There was multiple. They're just not all in the highlights. So kudos to Anna, and may she keep it up.
This one was when Portland's momentum started gaining some traction, and then we kind of started getting probably a little tired. And so here you see the Moultrie
and Sinclair, who went off.
Yeah. Do you know who the coach of Portland is?
Yeah, he's an English guy. Yeah. He was like night and day versus Seb. It was like the two English managers, and one was very calm, like in Seb, and he was up and about, and he couldn't stop walking around his technical area, Luis. Where I sit is quite close to that, so I always get a good view of the away manager and what they're doing. And this guy was, yeah.
He got the Rod Stewart haircut.
Yeah, he is out there giving a name to English people. I'll say second.
Yeah, for sure. Nothing to do in this goal. I mean, it was a great transition play by, maybe I think Morgan and maybe even Carey could have gone a little faster, but
I think for me at this one, if you go way back to the beginning of the highlight, you'll see Alpha makes a really bad error. We make an error at the back to lose the ball initially.
yeah.
We're trying to be
Again, we're gonna be playing also North Carolina again. So it's just it's not gonna get any easier. But
for sure. And this one, they didn't have any Sophia Smith, which obviously helps us.
right,
It would have
for
been
sure.
even more of an issue for us to deal with. But you can only beat the team in front of you. So I anticipate in the future we're gonna have to deal with her. But this one we managed to avoid that, and I think that could have been their second goal. Could have been coming for someone like that if she was able to come off the bench or was playing for them. They lacked a little bit of that quality in the final third, and I think for us too, it was disappointing in the second half that we didn't get that goal without Barbara. We gotta, as much as I love having Banda here and she's incredible, that we've got to score without her on the field. And we're so many chances
Right.
still, even in that second half. I know we were talking all about Portland, but there was lots at the beginning of that second half, on that momentum chart was also all us. We started out the second half very well. And it was just, right past the back post a lot. And Allie had one where she got right up and it was through on goal and scuffed the shot and it hit directly into the keeper, like really easy save for her. So we need to be a little bit more clinical outside of Barbara. We want to see the Alley that scored like 2 goals against North Carolina Courage. She looked lethal, and same with Julie too. So hoping that these other players as well as we're playing in the attack, Luis, I want to see goals all around, not just for Barbara.
They've been doing, with and without Angelina, a great job on the set piece goals. Prepared plays in the attack of set pieces. And again, I am no coach, but I just give a little bit of my grain of salt and of advice. We have to have more weapons in our arsenal. We already have the strikers. I think we have a great attacking third. Shoot from distance. That's going to be the second drill they got to do. That's going to be something that I don't think we see a lot of teams making a lot of goals from distance, and I think we have the players that are able to capitalize on shooting from distance. We got Marta, we got Amanda Allen, we have Summer Yates, we even Carrie Avello. So these are players, Yuli Doll as well. So if they start practicing shooting from distance, enhanced with, the set piece goals, and then Banda coming alive, like you have to understand, like it's a combination of 3 different decks of cards that they have to use for to play poker, right? So it's going to make them more versatile, and it's going to be tougher for somebody like, let's say, San Diego, that they want to beat us like 5-0, right? And they're going to prepare 2 weeks to face us, and things may get complicated. But let's say Amanda Allen shoots from distance second half, Orlando wins 2-1, so those type of things we need to see, because I think that's what's going to, what you say is going to enhance what you say. We're not Bandit dependent, right? And I think we need to, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think they need to live without Banda, because she could get sick, she could get a cold, you never know.
I was wondering in this one, she got a little knock or something because she got taken off at
Yeah.
halftime. Do you think that was something minor? Is that what you heard in the press conference, or do you
No,
get more of the feeling
I've
like it was Seb saving her?
Yeah, it was for precaution. Banda
Because
didn't
they
want to
were
come.
being chippy too. She was getting fouls.
Yeah, they were becoming very physical and out of desperation. But yes, so she was taking out a precaution there. And pretty much what Sep did was a Sep special, you know. Hey man, give me the keys to the bus right now. All right, let's go
He
ahead.
said, "I dare you to try and I'll take off my best player. Let's see if you can do it without
Yeah.
yours."
So I think he just kind of played defense the rest of the game and hope for, like that chance that Ali had, to do like that back heel kick, that could have been a goal, right?
Yep.
So they had a couple of chances. They just had to capitalize a little better. So let's read some comments here. Rachel, we probably practiced for Smith, so we had to switch our game plan and ended up having less preparation. Probably
Yep.
run into something. Rachel says, Jay, Texas. The other teams have been fouling Banda a lot. Yeah, she's gonna have to put
Hubley
some
had a
double.
bad one on her there. I
She's
gotta
gonna
say,
have to
there was a
put
few
some.
bad challenges.
She's gonna have to put some double tape on those ankles. She's gonna have to.
Also, there's some strange calls. I remember Carrie had one where she got called for a foul, and it was like definitely not a foul. That usual sort of errors by the ref on a lot of our tackles that I don't know. She was giving us fouls and things where I don't think they were fouls for us, but then she was missing them fouling Banda all the time. So it was confusing.
That's right.
Luis, I feel like that's everything we've got to talk about on the Portland Thorns.
I
Do you have
agree.
any other final thoughts on that game?
No, we just gotta be more. We gotta not be Barbara Banda dependent, and I agree with you wholeheartedly on there. I'm happy for the win. I think it was a lot of. It's good to have new faces. I saw a lot of new people on the wall. The wall looked a little fuller. There were definitely more people there. A lot of OCSC fans. I think Jared Dillon also helped out a lot with that thing about, you go to the 3 games, we get you club seats, so that's fantastic. So we need to see that more. And I think those people and I've seen it online, those people that went to the Pride Portland game, they came out and they're like, oh my God, like this is a great team. This is a great team. Why I haven't been here before? This is a great experience. I should have come here sooner. So they're winning hearts and minds, John, and I think that's the most positive thing I take from that.
Luis, I sent you a link there to show. I took a video at the end of the game. Just they did a little huddle in the field, and it was just great to see. You can play it here. So everybody can hear the moments when they sort of celebrated the 8th consecutive win.
Yeah, that's amazing. Good for them. They definitely deserve it. I think they just gotta keep that. The hardest part is to keep yourself at that level, right? And so I have full faith that with the depth that we have, the coaching staff, what they're doing, I think we're brewing something special. And again, right now, the Pride from all Orlando teams, they look the closest to contend for a championship. So we got to keep pushing forward, John.
There's a few more comments here. J.A. Texas says, I love the other team. Sorry, we already read that one. Still loving Marta move where she made 2 players run into each other. Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. If you have not seen that, you can go onto our Orlando Pride and Nwsl discussion group. I put it up there. It's kind of hilarious, Luis. Have you seen it?
No.
I'll send it over to you. Basically, there's this great moment where Marta skips away from 2 players, and at that moment, one player takes out the other player, and she just runs off with the ball, and it just looks great. So, Rachel's comment says, I could watch Marta outrunning 5 corn kits and 2 colliding as she ran. Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. Stream Jesus. Looks like the orange jersey is growing on John. I've got the orange kit behind me on my background today. If anyone needs context, there you go. I'm not wearing it. It's just behind me, so I don't own it. Stream Jesus says that Jersey John has been far my fave from the Pride. I'm wearing the lunar one. So if you don't know about that one, that's the one we did. It has like the moon on it. So so many cool Pride jerseys, Luis, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean the Pride is having a great jerseys. The Ad Astra kit was great, and then now you have this one. And the cool thing about it is that, and I guess this is good on the front office. They tie in with themes that are part of Florida and Central Florida. The oranges. Florida citrus. I know a lot of people. I don't know, people that have lived in Orlando for a long time. All that area from Ocoee, Winter Garden, all West Orlando used to be orange groves. Ocoee, Winter Garden, Claremont, Gotha, Groveland, Muscati.
They did a really cool little orange patch. This one that was an orange that said, "Orange, you glad you're not a Thorns fan," which I enjoyed a lot. So that's a little bit of fun. Luis, let's move on to the next game, San Diego Wave, Friday night, 10 p.m. This is the second time we played this team. This is going to be this year. We'll go back and have a little think about the last time we played them. Before we do that, we'll talk about their recent results. They got some draws, some losses. They've been up and down. They're still down in 9th in the table. Their only win in the last 5 was against Utah, who are dead last in 14th. I watched their most recent game, the 0-0 against Angel City. It was pretty dull, I gotta say, Luis. There wasn't a lot going on there. I still feel like they haven't figured it out, and they're not quite the team that we expect in other years. So, an opportunity for us here, Luis. Your kind of thoughts on the Wave before we look at the last time we played them.
Yeah, I mean they're a team that they have great names, but we faced them already. So there's no, I guess it's gonna sound cliche, they don't scare us, if you know what I mean. They don't bite. So I think we can definitely win. I guess we need to see a goal being scored in the beginning minutes of the game to just control the pace of the game. They come from losing against Seattle Reign, which we faced also, and they got a red card. I believe Kristen McNabb. So Kristen McNabb is not going to play for them, I believe. Hold on, let me.
Hold on, I think you're reading the wrong way around. The last, I think they played Angel City.
Oh, Angel City. Sorry, yeah, I'm reading it wrong. My apologies.
I do that too. They list them the other way, and
what the hell? What the hell are they doing?
But yes, the Angel City game. It was dull. Anyway, nothing really happened. Alex Morgan did come on, so we'll talk a little bit about that. She's back and ready for them. The last time we played them, Luis, everybody cast your mind back to Friday, April the 19th, where there were 7,701 fans at the Interco Stadium for our first meeting against the San Diego Wave. Luis, which player do you think came on for their debut in that game?
It was Banda.
Correct. I'd forgotten about that when I went to look back. But this was Banda's first game, and I remember, if you guys also remember, Sheridan having an incredible match, making some great saves. Banda maybe not quite gelled yet, maybe not quite glued yet with the squad, but we could see the raw talent that was coming through, and we managed to get that 1-0 victory anyway with a goal from Summer Yates in the 26th minute. And then the second half, we just kept knocking on the door with Banda, couldn't get the second goal, and it ended 1-0, which was the beginning of our winning streak, I believe, actually, all the way 8 games ago. I'll have to double check that. But what were your thoughts on that game? Luis, any initial ideas of what the last time we met this team?
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, the most surprising part to me was Brianna Martinez and Carriobello right there. Brianna Martinez was having a phenomenal few games around that time. Also, Angelina was being so clinical of the set piece. And we thought that this was going to be our mid, Angelina, Haley McCutcheon, right? Also, Summer Yates, her momentum was up around that time also. Not to say that her momentum has gone down. I'm just saying that she's not scored, so. And, we hope to see her back in this game against San Diego, right? Because she was an intricate part in the first game. So, and we saw Anna Morehouse starting to play and starting kind of say, hey, I'm not going to, make the same mistakes. And then Emily Sam's momentum was growing at the time. So now we have an Emily Sams that's one of the best center backs in the league right now. So, not to knock down Germa or anything like that they got, but we have if not one of the best defensive, we didn't have Rafa. So now we have Rafa there. So we have some of the best backlines in the league right now. And a lot of youth, not a lot of names, but a team that can definitely punish you. And now with Banda up top, I know they're going to foul a lot. So hopefully if they foul us a lot, they get a red card, but I know we're gonna try to make our mark, and I'm just kind of intrigued on what Sep's gonna do tactically in this game.
Looking back, Luis, it was with the Utah Royals game on the April 12th was the first win of this consecutive 8 wins. This was the second of the consecutive 8 wins, 1-0 on the April 19th against the Wave. So it set us off on a good path. Banda obviously had just arrived. I agree entirely with what you said. I think from that point, we were really starting to hit our stride. Now we're at like full pace sprinting. And the Wave of just kind of sat there. You know what I mean? They're, I think, in a very similar situation to where they were last time they faced us. There's not really consistency in this team. It's not looking like they haven't grown into it. Like, look at Portland, what they did. They started out rocky, and now one of the best teams in the league again. We kind of expected the Wave to do that, and they haven't. And even with the likes of Shaw and Germa and Sheridan and McCaskill and Dahlkemper, et cetera, they're still not looking like the team that people expect. And I think Casey Stoney has got a real problem on her hands. I think she's got to figure out how to get this team cooking. Like Seb is, obviously we're cooking with Seb. So Alex Morgan being back is big for them. Obviously Germa was out with injury. She's full and back, and there's a lot of talent here. I'm not going to debate that. I just think they're not in form, and last time we played them, not only were we in form then, we're in even better form now. We've accelerated, and they've just kind of stayed the same. So I think, yes, we need a new tactic, but also maybe we just go with the same tactic again, because now we can do it even better with Barbara.
Right.
And it could just be like, look, what worked last time, we'll do that same thing again, but this time we've got added firepower in there, and we're more of a team, and we're on an 8-game win streak with confidence is high. Anna's playing better. All those things could add into being able to maybe just run it back.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, now we have obviously some key players that are going to boost what San Diego met on that day that we won 1-0, right? The second game on the 8-game run winning streak. So I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I do want to say also, if we see, our attacking third, if let's say Seb makes the determination again to take Banda out because she doesn't want her to, play a full 90, we need to see Julie step up and Watts step up and also score, I wish I could see that also, and overall, I do want to see a game that Orlando is just super dominant. from minute one. That pressing they do is so bothersome for defenders, for mids. We need to keep seeing that. And the cool thing is they withstand that press for at least 70 minutes. Like they keep playing the same. So physically, they're a team that are in top shape to keep that level of pressing for a long time, at least for over 60 minutes, right? So hopefully that's the X factor, and they're able to overcome San Diego, and we keep on. We're gonna become like the Undertaker.
I think teams are a fear of us when we come into town, Luis. We're gonna go raid another Californian city and go take 3 points away.
Yeah. Rachel right here says we will have our Brazilians. So yeah, because they go to She Believes. So we're gonna see pretty much this team right here, but with Banda.
Yes, the
We'll
Brazilians.
get the lineup in just a moment if you want.
Yeah, the Brazilians out is key.
Yep.
There's a few other comments here. Rachel says, "Won't they be a friendly international for this game?" Yes, we'll get into that. They might be back, but it's a short turnaround. J.A. Texas says, "It's great to see Angelina running in practice again." That is true, 100%. Great. I'm not super confident in when she's going to come back. I think it's going to be a while. I don't want to rush Angelina back. I think she's had a history of injuries, and I really would like her for here for the rest of the year. So let's not push Angelina back too quickly. I think is what Seb's going to go for. We've been doing okay without her, but when she is back, she's a key part of this team. Rachel also says Sheridan won't be at the game either. Yes, the international duty. So any of the big USA stars like, Alex Morgan, I don't know if she will be or won't be there. I'd have to check that because they're not going to She Believes, but they are being called up. So I have to check the dates on that one. But definitely not our Brazilians will be out. So that's no Rafa, no Marta, no Adriana.
I'm confident. I'm still confident. I mean, we have.
This is where our depth is key, Luis.
Yeah, we have the depth. I mean, we could line up this backline that we see right here, and it's still pretty solid with Bree, Sam, Strom, and Avello right there. We're gonna see Morgan and McCutcheon probably. Doyle, Summer, Alley, and then Band up top. That's gonna be it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you want to go through the full lineup?
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and
We'll
make
get
it
to
happen.
that point. I'm gonna say Alonso says buena tarde.
There you
Good
go.
evening, buddy. Good to see you.
There you go, man. So let me look at. All right. So Morehouse. We're gonna put. Are we gonna do Sam's, Kylie Strom, Cariabello, and Brianna?
I think he's probably going to go back to that. It makes sense. That's what we had before Rafa was back in from injury. Brianna did a very good job at right back. I think she, deserves to be put back in. If Rafa's out, you move Sam's inside, and that works just as well.
Yep. And then you got
probably Haley and Morgan.
We're gonna see Morgan and Haley.
I was checking to see if Allie's also. I gotta check her friendlies against Germany and Canada for the U20. Allie Limos, if she's going to be available for this one.
Oh, interesting. We're gonna see Summer right here.
I think Summer should be ready to go. I don't, like you said, Luis. It seemed like she was sick, but then she was very she was there at the game and she was running around
Yeah.
with everybody. Yeah, she might have just wanted a
Summer,
day off.
Summer's probably there.
Maybe she wanted to go to the game with Luana, like someone to go with her. That's nice.
Right. I mean, you gotta understand the whole, the whole process of dealing with that sickness is pretty tough on your body, and Luana wanted to be there. Maybe she needed a ride or somebody to help her out, and she's part of the team, right? So Doyle, Watt. Oh crap! Do you agree with that? Watt right
I
here.
think I think it'll be Doyle and Watt. I mean, it's the good options on the wing. What's you not got? Adriana's not there. Marta's not there.
It says, yeah, so Morehouse up top. You have Brianna Martinez, Emily Sams, Kylie Strom, Carrie Bello, Morgan, Haley McCutcheon, Summer Yates, Doyle on the right, Watt on the left, and Barbara Banda right there up top. Still pretty strong squad, don't you think?
I mean, we're not losing a massive core. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of these players have been playing. We're losing the Brazilians, yes, but we've been living without Marta. We started the season without Adriana or Rafa.
And without Rafa,
This was the beginning of the season right here, and we were getting ties and draws, but we didn't have Banda. So I still have a lot of faith in this team, man.
Correct, 110%. I agree with you.
That's other talking heads around the league. Like I heard it on Attacking Third. I've heard it in a few different places that they're really impressed with everybody else that's like contributing in this squad and in this team. So this is an example of where our depth, I think, is it like Ali Watt, Julie Doyle could be starters on other teams, really, realistically, and they're not getting chances to start at the moment unless other players are out. So it's not a massive step down. Our midfield is the same as it's been recently. The back line is essentially the same. Just Emily Sams moved in with Brianna Martinez. We're not taking a massive step down. Like in other years when the internationals would go away, the team looked significantly weaker, right? Would you agree with that, Luis? And this year we're not. I don't think we're going to suffer from that.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think we're gonna suffer a lot on this lineup. If anything, it's a great opportunity for us to, and it will show. It will show that without some of our key players, who can still function, and I think that's the whole point. This is a collective effort. We're not depending on one or two players. This is not 2 or 3 seasons ago, right? So, this is a brand new Orlando Pride. And if these young cats want to go to the national team, which is what they want, these are the best. These are the games that they got to like outperform. They got to really raise their level because, obviously an Adriana, a Marta, they get all the eyes, right? And I think if we see a phenomenal game by Carrie Bello and a massive game by Emily Sams, which she also scores goals, as you could tell, obviously, I think it says a lot about not only the project, the team, and the depth that we have, right? And watch out NWSL because we're coming for it,
I want to say thank you to everybody who's watching us live. Drop your comments. We want to hear from you. We got a comment here from Jay, Texas. It says, hope we now get Pride players on the NWSL Team of the Month. It's definitely going to be happening. I'll tell you that for sure. I don't think you could ignore us last time, and that was kind of outrageous. There's no way you can ignore us this month. And Barbara Banda should be Player of the Month. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if she's not Player of the Month,
I'm expecting later on in the week on several of the podcasts and different outlets for them to be, as the end of the month comes, it's going to be flowers for Pride, flowers for Banda, flowers for everybody, as it should be.
If that doesn't happen, John's gonna tie himself outside of the stadium and
Oh
do
no,
a
I will make it known of my displeasure, but I'm not worried, Luis. I think it's going to be a case of next week we're just constantly tweeting and retweeting every award that's been given out to this team for the month of May.
Congratulations to Rayadas for winning the championship yesterday. Excited to face him in July.
Yeah, I was going to send you, Luis. There's a little bit of news today on the Pride and the summer tournament that we got coming up, the inaugural NWSL X Liga MX Femenil Summer Cup. God, that's a mouthful. Sets the U.S. television and streaming details. So it's going to be on Paramount Plus. Is the main.
That's awesome.
Yep, and some of also will be on the CBS Sports Golazo network, which is great. That means it's probably going to be covered by Attacking Third, who are CBS themselves. So I think it's going to be interesting, Luis. I'm more excited about this than I was about the Leagues Cup for the men. I'll say that. I don't know whether it's just because the Pride is exciting, but I'm excited to see this team play some opponents from outside of the U.S. Like let's see how we stack up against
Are we gonna
the
boycott
Liga
this one?
MX femenil teams. Are we gonna what?
Are we gonna boycott this one? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't. I mean, maybe if they try to cancel the cup, but there's no cup to cancel, so we're good. We're
I'm
good.
just joking. I'm just kidding. No, yeah, it's exciting to face international competition. It's great for the players. It's great for also Rayadas, right? I have 110%. I'm sure Orlando, if they face a Liga MX team, they're gonna kick ass and chew bubble gum, and they're gonna be all out of gum. Exactly, just like I said that. It's gonna be great, and it's exciting to have them at Interco.
And it's going to be in English and Spanish, Luis.
Yeah.
So for our Spanish listeners who want to follow Pride, that's awesome news.
Now, is there going to be a Club World Cup?
Yes, there is in the future. I don't know if this is going to have it. I don't think this has anything to do with it. There is like we talked about, there is a Champions League coming for North America.
Yeah.
So I think that will feed the Club World Cup like it
That'd
does.
be amazing.
Globally, like in other places. But I'm just excited for this team. It'll be fun, man. I think, and also like we said, depth wise, let's use this as an opportunity to play some more depth pieces. Like,
and then not only that, like
Lara Arquette is still not getting minutes, and she's still a decent player in this team.
It opened markets for players that are currently playing in the NWSL, and they're not getting a good break in the NWSL to go, and now it opens a market in Mexico that they can go and play, and same with the talented Mexican players from the best teams, from Rayadas, from Tigres. They can come, and then maybe here in America they don't have a lot of press because no one watches the Liga MX Femenil. They go and now we may see one of them in the Houston Dash. We may see them another one at the Pride. And I think it opens doors. It would be cool too. I'll be honest with you, for the Pride to do. How in Europe they do your like those little cups when you open the season, right? And you're like kind of doing your presentation in front of the fans, and you have the players walk in, the new players, and say hello. They should have like a friendly game against maybe a team in South America, maybe Marta's former team, Corinthians, bring them over here. They're a huge team over there in South America for women's soccer. I think one of the best. It'd be great for them to face that type of competition. Kind of like when the men play Flamengo. It's like kind of like that level. And it's great. It's great that we're going to see a North American. Hopefully for a Club World Cup for the women. I think it's going to be fantastic all around for the sport.
I'm super excited. I think it's going to be a fun summer tournament for us to get into. Luis, do we have anything else to talk about on Pride? Obviously, one thing I want to mention is the next home game, will be $8 tickets. Shout out to everybody who made that happen. So, in celebration of the consecutive wins of 8 in a row, it's $8 tickets for the next home game, which will be against the Utah Royals, I believe, on the 21st, Luis. So, a while away for the next time you get to see Banda and Co. 3 weeks from now, almost a month from now. But before that, we've got a home game, like we said, on Friday. Away game on Friday against San Diego Wave. And then the following Saturday, North Carolina Courage away before we get back. But everybody go buy your tickets for the June 21st game. Only $8. You can buy one beer in the stadium. Sorry, you can buy 2 tickets for the price of 1 beer in the stadium. So that's really, really cheap, Luis. Did I lose you, buddy?
Now, give me 1 second. Sorry, John.
You're good. You're good. I'm going to read the last comment here from Rachel. Says, Rayados will be at Inter & Co. LFG. Yes, we are excited to play some international soccer. Love that. I want to say thank you to everybody who's here today with us for the Pride Pod here on Loud and Proud Orlando. We do this every Tuesday night. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Loud and Proud Orlando on YouTube. We also have the Orlando City Pod that we do on Monday and Thursday nights. You can also join us for Pride Talks, which is something we do on X after every game. About an hour or so after kickoff, Luis and myself jump on there, give our initial thoughts on the game. We want to hear from you, though, so come join us there where you can drop your comments or request to talk. We'd love to hear your opinions and your initial reactions. So Friday night, come join us there after the San Diego Wave game. You can find us on social media at LPO_podcasts on X or Twitter, and on Instagram as at LPO_podcast as well, and on Facebook as Loud and Proud Orlando. Luis, any final comments for you?
Well, I wanted to thank everyone for your support. About over almost 90 people watching us live. We're working on hopefully an interview that everyone is going to love. Someone that has been very influential for this great momentum that the Pride has at the moment. So we're going to be developing that later. Hopefully, reaching out to some people that know some people, so we can bring her over here at the pod. And so, just stick around, stay tuned. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you're listening, thank you so much for your support, and on our social media.
And you don't know this yet, Luis, but I've got some exciting collaborations coming up for the Orlando Pride Pod as well. We're going to have some guests on in the future from some other places to give their opinions here on the Pride. So that's going to be exciting too.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. It's going to be great.
So much going on. So stick around. One last thing to say, and that's Vamos Pride.
Vamos Pride. Take care, guys.
See you next week.